Hi everybody, welcome to FlyNubianKingTV.com, FlyNubianKingTV.com. I am Miguel A. Nunez Jr. You guys know me from Joanna Man, from Life, Scooby-Doo, Harlem Nights, all of those different films and TV shows. A lot of y'all don't know my struggle. People don't know that I ran away from home to go to California. Hold on. This may be better. Ran away from home to go to California to become an actor. I lived in the streets. I was following a dream. And I didn't let nothing stop me from following my dream. I know that the chances of me making it and the chances of my success were very little, but I didn't stop it. But one of the things I didn't have in the way was social media. Now, that's something entirely different than what I'm going to be talking about tonight, but I do want you guys to know who I am and a lot of things about me. So I have decided to join Fly Nubian King so I can just talk about things, you know, every other day. Sometimes I just may jump on this sucker and just start going. Like the other day I was really killing it and I lost it, but I tried to do it again. So anyway, guys, you are watching FlyNubianKingTV.com. I need you to hit the thumbs up. I need you to like the video. I need you to share the video. I need you to subscribe to the station because we're going to have a lot of Fly Nubian Kings coming in and out and in and out. Today, I want to talk to you guys about how I believe that we are failing our teenagers, and the problems with what's going on with the teens and the situations, and I'm going to talk about suicide because I was absolutely blown away when I found out suicide is the third leading cause of death for 15 to 20-year-olds, according to the Center of Disease and Control and Prevention, after accidents and homicides. It's also thought that at least 25 attempts, listen to this, 25 attempts are made for every completed teen suicide. So for every teen suicide that has been completed, there were 25 others that they did not attempt. Now, one of the things, there are a lot of different reasons why they say why teens are at risk and all of these things. Different people say, you know, it can be hard to remember how it felt being taken advantage of, and young people with mental health problems such as anxiety, depressions, bipolar disorder, or insomnia are at the highest risk of suicide. Now, what these are, I'm going to give you what they're saying in the little technicalities and the little businesses, because this is real important. And these are the experts' opinions. And this is what the experts on the situation are saying. But I will submit to you that it's far deeper than the experts are actually saying. Now, the experts are giving you their scientific, medical expertise, knowledge of what they consider and think it to be, such as, and these are some of the statistics, factors that increase the risk of suicide among teens are psychological disorders, depression, bipolar, all of that. Feelings, now here's some of the most important things where we need to guess, and this is where I'm going to go with it. Feelings of distress, irritability, agitation, feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness, then often accompany depression and suicide attempt. Now listen to that again. Feelings of hopelessness and worthlessness are usually preceded by suicide. And why is that? Because, and this is why I'm getting to my point. Let me get back to, let me keep going before I jump into that, but that is the main crux of it. Hopelessness and worthlessness often accompanied by suicide. Family history, depression, and suicide, emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, fuck all that. The most important thing, or I want to get to, is the hopelessness and worthlessness. Now, here is what the fuck is going on. I'm sorry I shouldn't say that because I want you to share this with the kids. Forgive me, kids. You shouldn't curse. So I want you guys to share this with any of the kids, people with teenagers that you know. It's okay. Okay, the problem that I feel is happening is I think parents, we are failing our children. We have been told for so long, you can't hit your child. You can't hit your child. Now we have kids growing up with no respect for grown folks because they don't have a consequence. Let me explain something to you. A kid's going to do as much as he can get away with. A child is going to do as much as you let them get away with. And that's why even in the Bible, it says, spare not the rod, because we are all sinful individuals and we're going to always want to do what's wrong. That's why when you ask a little kid in the beginning, they don't even know how to lie. They don't even know nothing about lie. They couldn't even define lie. But if they walk in there with chocolate all around their mouth and you say, did you eat that? They're going to say, no. They're already going to lie. It's already in us. We're inevitable sinful. It's already in us. Let me explain something to you. We as parents, you got to remember, it is up to us. Us. You're letting your kids, the reason they're feeling hopelessness and worthlessness is because we've stopped raising them right. We've stopped parenting them right. So many of these people out here now want to be their friend. They're so damn busy trying to be their kid's friend and their kid's buddy that they forget that they're damn parents and they need to lead by example. Watch what you say around your kid. You sit there and talk about blunts, blunt, blunt. Kids gonna hear that. If a kid hears you and his wife and his mother talking about business and how to do this business every single day about this business, if we can do this, but we don't have enough money. But if we can pull this money here and save that money there, then we can use that money to make this money, blah, blah, blah. Kids are like sponges. They're going to take in everything they hear from you. If they grow up in an atmosphere of you trying to manipulate people and use people, then they're going to grow up with an attitude of manipulation and using. If they grow up in a household of entrepreneurs, they're going to grow up to be an entrepreneur. Listen to me. You have to watch not just what you say to your kids. You have to watch what you say around your kids. Kids will pick it up. They're sponging. When you're not thinking they're looking, they're looking. When you not even notice that they're looking and noticing, picking up everything you say and do it, even mannerisms. So if you're talking about the blunts and this and the blunts and that and the bitch this and the bitch that, that's what your kid's going to grow up thinking about. We are failing our kids. We are letting internet and social media. The reason kids are killing us, in fact, 97% of people who die by suicide, they say are hopeless and feel worthless. And you know why that is? That's because you let them. You don't think you can hit them. You don't think you can spank them. You don't think you can punish them. Fuck that. I'm beating my child's ass if I need to. And if I have to go to jail, when the police get there, if you call the police on me before they get there, they ain't even going to ask you what happened. They're just going to ask you how you got loose. Because I'm going to be on the news. I'm going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. Everything. I'm whooping that ass and gladly going to jail. And if you call the police, you're going to get a whooping for calling the police. Every kid in the rest of the country, in the world, is going to be afraid to call the police. Matter of fact, for the next 2 years, when they hear the word police, they're going to start crying. That's the truth. We need to stop being our kids. And they told us you can't hit your kid. You told us you can't. It's going to make our kids more violent. Listen, kids are more violent now, since they've started this not spanking their kids, than they ever were in the history of the United States. Kids used to have respect. Kids used to have respect for older people. Kids used to have respect for their elders. Kids used to always talk right and speak right. And there was a few bad apples. That's because they know they'd get their ass whooped when they got home by their mother and father if they did. What society is doing to us and our children, it's leading us in the way that we should raise our child in a way that keeps them in a position that they can be ruled upon and they can be controlled. That's the bottom line. Get your kids' ass off the internet. Listen to me. The internet is what's making them feel worthless and hopeless. The internet, when they're looking up there, all this Cardi B and all of this Kardashians and what they got this and she a billionaire. Ooh, Kardashian a billionaire. And the billionaire. Ooh, she got this and this and this makeup, that makeup. Ooh, Cardi B coochie stink. All of this ignorant shit that does nothing, will do nothing, can do nothing, and will do nothing but hold your child back. How many conversations have you had with your child to ask them what they learned in school, to ask them where they're going, what they plan on doing, and how are they're trying to prepare for the things that they want them to do? We don't care. You don't care. Your kids are going out partying every night. You don't care. My kids are in college. They went to school every freaking day and they're in college and they're going to stay there. Period. I'll whoop their ass right now, and they're in college. I don't care. The bottom line is, it's up to us. We have let our children down. We have let our children down. They're feeling so worthless because they're looking around everybody else got. They're feeling worthless and hopeless because they're thinking, well, look where I'm at, and look where that teenager is. One of the Kardashian girls is going to be the billionaire, whatever the bitch name is. I'm sorry. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me, guys. I take that back. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. In Jesus' name. Wherever that young lady, whatever her name is, and she's a billionaire now, God bless her. God bless her. Be happy for anybody and everybody doing anything positive. But what it does is, if your kids are all into this Kardashian, if they're all into this social media, if they're so into social media, they start to feel worthless because they start to compare their lives to other people that they're seeing. And that should not be the case. That should not be. They feel worthless because they don't feel like they're living up to other people's expectations, or they're not able to do what somebody else has done. And that's not the case. It is up to us, man. Listen to me. Suicide can be prevented. Most of the times when people commit suicide, what are the first things we hear? Wow, I didn't see the warning signs. If I'd have just saw the warning signs, they were right there. There are always warning signs. Make sure you hug people that you know. Because let me tell you something. They say that a lack of support, poor relationships with parents or peers, and feelings of social isolation. These are some of the most important factors. Okay, wait. I'm gonna get back to some of the most important factors that lead to this growing, horrible epidemic of teenage suicides. And we don't even understand. We don't even care. We're not even looking into it. We so busy on the internet talking about a damn Kardashians and Offset and Cardi B and blah 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 blah. That has nothing to do with nothing, and that's the whole entire plan. Is to keep your mind concentrated on all of this bullshit and nothing and nothing and nothing. Listen to me. A nation is only strong as it's built and as its force, as its working force, as its mental force. And right now, we are lagging behind in education. They know this. The elite and the big time, they're cutting education. They should be like China and Japan and all those, that their first priority is education, math and science. Because when you dream, that's when we made our biggest and most accomplishments. When you have a nations of dreamers and nations of thinkers and a nations of astronomers and science, we used to nurture that. Think about all the science, and we used to do that. And now it's all about social media. In America, it's about social media. Now, other countries have gotten smart. They're clamping down on the freaking social media. Now, you don't even know what social media has done. And Elizabeth Warren broke it down the other night. It's blowing your mind. Social media, and those guys, she's right, they have to be broken up. And if you didn't see it, she broke it down like this. Facebook and all the big ones, they own so many different corporations. What they do is they put all these different companies on the first page. Soon as that company starts getting, boom, huge artists, boom, big following, boom, big interest, they take it off because they own all the platforms. They take it off and put it on the last page and replace it with something that they own on that first page that sells their same shit. Because they're owning all these different platforms, they're having a monopoly. But you don't know this. You're sitting there worrying about Cardi B and Cardi B and Cardi B and Cardi B, blah, 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 blah. Now, the reasons that people are feeling, we're going to get to this lack of support, but I'm going to go back there. But first of all, hit that thumbs up button, please. Like the video, share this video, subscribe to FlyNubianKingTV.com. Tell everybody you know, because to subscribe to FlyNubianKingTV.com. Miguel Nunez has some shit he be putting down, and he's going to be bringing people on to be with him. I'm just trying to get it going myself before I start. I'm like, yes, yeah, I mean. But let's get into it. Now, here's some of the things, and this is what I think, where I think social media and parents have failed. Some of the leading causes of suicide, they say, are, and to me, these could all be attributed to social media. Lack of support network. A lack of support network. A lack of support network. Now think about social media. That fact right there is the same thing as following. A lack of support network. a lack of followers. There's so many kids out there who's so busy trying to get followers and likes. And the followers and like to them is their support network. Because they're not getting it from the parents, the brothers, the sisters, because the parents and brothers and sisters are running into the room and immediately jumping on their PDAs and immediately talking to their friends. I'm going, get away from me. See? And they don't even know that their brothers and sisters just need a hug. They just need somebody to talk to them for 5 minutes. Throw your freaking phones away for a while. When you come in the house, mothers, fathers, parents, sisters, put your phone down. Nothing. Everybody put a little bowl in front of the door. That's where your phone goes. I don't give a damn. There's nothing so important that it cannot wait. Period. We're taking away the family unity. We don't even eat together anymore. When you break down a society like that, this is exactly what it turns into, anarchy. And right now we have people walking around shooting in churches, walking in churches. That man said, God bless you, and extending their hands of support in the church. And people are shooting them and going to a concert in Las Vegas and sitting in a room shooting and killing people. This is a society that has lost its way. And that's because now we have teenagers between 15 and 24. Where is it at now? Between 15 and 24, and the third leading cause of death is them killing themselves. Them feeling like they have no other way out because of a lack of network support, which to me is the same thing as saying likes, how many likes, and all of that is psychologically affecting kids. You know, my friend's got 3,000 likes. That means 3,000 people like him, and I only got 20. That means nobody like me. It's horrible. We have got to break the cycle. We have got to break the cycle. We have got to cut the cords of this internet with our kids because we are not learning anymore. They don't even go to school to learn anymore. Parents are just paying the kids big ass money to get their kids in these expensive schools, and the kids are tweeting that they don't even want to be in the damn school. You know why? Because they want to be a social media influencer. They rather be a social media influencer than an engineer, than a doctor. We are going in the wrong direction. A nation strives when you have the kids are coming out as scientists and exploring, and your mind wanders now. They've taken our mind from a wandering and came down and put it into one little bitty device that they can control. They put it into a little bitty device. They took your incredible, wonderful, amazing mind that we have to figure stuff out, to explore, and they've taken it away. They shut us down, and they've taken it down, and they've all put it into a little bitty device that they can control what goes in here. They can control how you feel about yourself. Now, unless you break it, now parents, you have got to get involved. There is no such thing as privacy. Now, I said this the other night if you didn't watch my last post. There is no such thing as privacy. And if you say, I can't go into my child, listen, if my child is living in my damn house, there is no privacy, period. Because if I cannot walk out of my house and leave the front door open and leave a teenage daughter at home by herself, I damn shouldn't well walk out of the house and leave the internet wide open for her to go out, because what can come in from there is far worse than anything that can walk in your front door. But you keep your front door locked, but you let your 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds go onto the disgusting, foul internet? What the hell is wrong with you? And we're going to keep going here. All right, now, we got with the lack of support networks, which I contribute to the same thing as saying likes and followers. Okay? Now, poor relationships, and this is hard. This is a tough one. Poor relationship. Now, these I am talking about. If you guys just jumped in, you were watching Fly Nubian King. I'm Miguel Nunez, and I'm talking about suicide amongst our young children. Our young kids right now are committing suicide at an astronomical rate. And I'm telling you that it's because of a lack of parenting and the total domination of social media and the parents not controlling and the lack of parenting by parents in these two areas. Now, one of the things I've been discussing, if you're just turning in, was the lack of support network. And the lack of support network. To me, I attribute that, which I just did, with likes and followers. Kids start to feel less of themselves when they have less followers than somebody who may have more. So we're contributing to all of these factors. And have you ever talked about your kid? Your kid say, Mom, I got like a few live likes. Oh yeah, well, you gotta be Mark. That's all you say about it. Think about some of these things sometimes. Have you had a serious sit down? Take your daughter out. Sit down with her. Talk to them sometimes. I mean, don't go at them because then they're going to want to hold back. But open up and talk to them and let them know that anything they want to talk to you about, you're always there for them. And don't worry about no damn likes. Make sure you break this down to them It ain't about all of this stupid shit. Okay, now let's go back to something else. And here's where it really hurts and really hits home with me. Poor relationships with parents or peers. That's hard. That's because, going with just what I was just saying, we have failed our kids as parents. And when kids have a poor relationship with their parents, what the hell do? They go out and seek those kind of parental relationships with other people who may not have their best interest at heart. Like young girls who have not had relationships with their father may seek somebody like, R. Kelly or somebody else, a father figure, and fall victim to some other thing. I'm not saying that. I just threw that name out there, but that is one of the reasons. Poor relationships with your parents. And a lot of us parents are to blame. We got too busy. Hey, what? You don't really listen to your kids. You hear them. You hear them when they say stuff, but you never really listen to them. And go online and watch some of these suicide parents speak after their kids have done it. They're tragic. I agree with you. It's horrible. And a lot of them are thinking about it. A lot of them have so much regret because they didn't listen, didn't hear something they might have just said the day before, a week before, a couple of weeks before, and they always remember it then when it's too late. Don't wait till it's too late. Listen to me. Poor relationships and parents or peers should not be one of the major causes of suicide. And that is, again, because we have more of a relationship. Think about this. Most people have more of a relationship with their phones and their PDAs and their social media than they do with their own freaking kids. Kids, listen to me. You are worth it. You don't have to worry about nobody's freaking likes and nobody's freaking followers. It has nothing to do with you because none of them really truly know you. So don't ever feel bad. If I had one follower, I don't give a damn. That's the one person that likes me, the one person that knows me. It doesn't matter if they like me or not. That's just one person you connected with. Followers are not people that love you. Followers are not people that care about you. Followers are just people who are acquainted with you. And that's it. So don't judge yourself based on how many followers you have or how many likes you got. That has nothing to do with anything. People are like a horse. If he's standing up like this, it doesn't make any difference. Don't let those things affect you whatsoever. I don't give a damn what somebody thinks, and you shouldn't either. Support networks, poor relationships with your parents. Listen, a lot of your parents don't even know that they have a poor relationship with you. And it's okay for you to say to your parents, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, listen, we don't talk anymore, and I just want to talk to you sometimes. I wish we could just sit out. It's okay for you to say that. I know some of you might be sitting around waiting for your parents to say that to you. And if you are a parent, you need to do this. You need to tell everybody that you know to do this with kids. Because the last thing you want to get is a last phone call when you didn't get a chance to say you love somebody. Or you didn't say the right thing when they ask you something. You got to stop hearing your kids. You got to stop hearing your children and start listening to them, because a lot of times in suicide situations, they'll never be direct. They'll never come out and say anything direct. That's why the parents will be like, if I had to just put that together, they'll never come out and be direct. So that's why you can't hear them. You have to really listen. Because if you hear something, okay, yeah. But if you're really listening, you're like, I wonder why he said that. Hey, see what I'm saying? It's a difference when you listen to something and just hear it. You're really concerned, and you got to start listening, yo, and stop hearing them. I'm telling you right now, it's important because when they tell you poor relationships with parents is one of the major causes and peers, and listen to me, friends, if you have somebody and you got to start listening to your friends as well. And don't be selfish and just be about yourself. Because a lot of these peer suicides, kids, and you can look online again, their best friends are always on talking. Their best friends are always on talking like, oh, if I didn't know, she was just handsome. If I listen to me. I promise you, she did say something. And I promise you, she did say something. You just listened and you heard her. I mean, you listened, but you didn't hear her. That's the key. You got to listen to me. They are saying things. These people are saying things, but they're not going to be direct. I think about killing myself because I don't feel one of them. But they say something. I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel confused or something. And most of the time, we don't want to get involved. We so busy on the PDA. Oh, girl, you're going to be all right. Because you ain't got time to take 5 minutes to put your freaking PDA down to say, hey, wait, whoa, what's wrong? What's wrong? Because you're so scared you're going to miss a text. You're going to miss some news about some bullshit. Leave your PDAs. It is the devil. Social media is destroying America. And we're going on and on and on about other countries who are curbing social media, who are telling Facebook they can't do this and making them do that and stopping them from do that and stopping them from do that and cutting them from doing that. And now we're mad at them. Listen to me. Other countries who are curbing social media access and certain things have it right. I don't give a damn what you say. They have it right. And we 100% have it wrong. You cannot bring an instrument into your society whose main purpose, who's so full of garbage. How could you tell me that you cannot take ISIS videos off with them cutting off people's heads? You still pull that stuff up online. It makes no sense. This thing is the worst thing that has ever happened. Social media and Trump are the two worst things that has ever happened to this country. Ever. If you look around you right now, you can see that everybody's not focused. Like, I'll give you an example. I was listening to my mentor, Dr. Boyce, and one of my favorite people on the entire planet the other night, and it was the mnunezjr and Dr. Boyce. And they were talking about the guy who was in prison and been in prison for years, black guy. He's been in prison for years. And without being charged. I don't know if you guys can check out their post. You should actually check it out. Go see that. Listen to Dr. Boyce and mnunezjr. They did a hell of a show, and they were talking about this guy. But I actually say the reason that black man was in that prison that long without being charged for that long is 100% black people's fault, if you ask me. And if you want me to prove to you, point that shit out for you, bring me on your own show, either one of you. Secondly, every single people that you've been hearing about complaining about too many liquor stores in the black neighborhood, that's black people's fault. Any problem that you tell me or you try to bring to me, and I dare you, let's do it, talk about it. Okay, any problem you bring me that faces black people right now, I can show you 100% how it's our own fault. Just like that man being in jail, it's our fault. I'm going to just deal with that little issue right now. And the reason that is our fault, because I ain't know nothing about this. I mean, I heard a little bit about it. But black people do the same thing. They're going to tweet about it. Ooh, you got a black man in jail, they ain't did nothing. Hey, listen, where the fuck was all of the protest? Where were the, okay guys, I need 5 people to go to the prison and sit out in front of there on their knees. If we had 50 black folks every day for the last year, and it should not be that freaking hard to get 50 black folks to protest a man that's in prison. You can get online and text about it and tweet about it and talk about it. If we'd had 10, 5, 3, 2 black folks that sit out in front of that prison every day with a big sign saying this is wrong, If we'd have had some couple of, and then the next day 5, and then the next day 10, and the next day 15, the news reporters would have started coming, the CNN would have picked it up, and then there would have been more hell brought to this thing, and it would have been over a long time ago. I didn't see one person outside that prison. I didn't see one freaking protester. I didn't see one person doing what the Buddhists and the Chinese and all those people over there, when they got somebody in jail, they go outside and they have a hunger strike. You sit outside that prison and you say, until this man, we're going to all sit here and not eat. How many freaking news stations would come out there? If it was 50 black folks sitting out there arm in arm on the ground in front of the prison saying we're not going to do it until they release him on a hunger strike, there would have been 25, 30 cameras there after about a month. And after all the attention would have came to him, his ass would have been out there a long before now. Even if he's out, I don't know that much about it. Because I don't want to hear anybody talk about how long he been there, especially if you black and you didn't do shit about it. They didn't do shit about it. But talk about it. You could have got him out of there easy. Easy. I promise you, if you'd have put me in charge, I would have got him out. 50 people, 10 people a day for 1 month. It would have been so much news that they would have had to have done something long before now. But what happened was black folks didn't do shit for so long, but let him sit there and talk about it. So all the problems that we have, we're bringing upon myself because we're lazy in social media. Think about all the advancements that we made and all the advancements and all the progress that we made during the civil rights era. And you know why? Because they got their asses out in the streets. They put something at risk. They took beatings. They did what was necessary because they had a purpose. Right now, we don't do that. And I'm not even saying you got to get out and do that. You can do the same protesting with social media. But instead of protesting with our PDAs, instead of using social media as a tool for change and to really make something happen, all we freaking do is gossip. And then gossip and then use the PDA to complain about what's not being done by us. They ain't gonna do it. Oh yeah, they don't do this. You know, the way they don't do that. You know, the white man, white supremacy, the white supremacy. They don't do this. They don't do that. It got nothing to do with white supremacy. It got nothing to do with any of that. It got something to do with our lazy ass not doing the right thing and not doing it the right way. If we all tweeted 100, wherever that guy was in prison, if they'd have got if everybody would have tweeted the governor, if we'd have got on the PDA and asked everybody, I never got anybody asking me, but telling me about this guy and asking me to share on all my fans, to tweet to the governor and had the governor's thing on there to get into this. If we'd have had 3 million, 4 million, Cardi B got 16 million, all these other black folks got all these millions and millions of folks, and they didn't tweet nobody to do shit. Get out of here. Makes no sense. Okay, now let's keep going. All right, guys, I don't want to get too heavy, but I want you to do me a favor. I want you to hit the thumbs up. I want you to like the video. I want you to share the video. I want you to subscribe to flynubiankingtv.com. And don't forget, guys, there's a sister network over there, flynubianqueen.com, who are killing it. But this is flynubiankingtv.com. Flynubianqueen.tv. Oh, no, sorry, just flynubianqueen.com. Here's flynubiankingtv.com. And if you have funds, money, and you want to make some money, don't forget to check out flynubianmoney.com. And if you got enough money, you want to start your own business or learn about business, or if you're getting into business or you're thinking about getting into business and you want to make sure you're doing things right, you need to check out flynubianbusiness.com. I'm a stickler for doing stuff the right way, because to me it's weird. No one ever has time or money to do it right, but they always find time and money to do it over when they fuck up. So do it right the first time. Sorry again, kids, mess up. Okay, guys. All right, now listen. Here's another thing. Okay, parents and peers. Feeling, here's another one of the factors, contributing factors, they say, that leads to the high rate of teenage suicide. And the other one is feelings of social isolation. Now, I'm going to go back to the beginning and just think about all of these that I'm saying and tell me if they don't sound like social media. Tell me if it doesn't sound like it's talking about social media. A lack of a support network poor relationships with parents or peers, and feelings of social isolation. All of those, to me, can be attributed to social media, because a lack of support network and poor relationship is when you don't have a lot of followers, you don't have a lot of likes. Parents and peers are because you're so busy. Parents are so busy on their own PDAs, and you're so busy on your PDA. You want to run to your room. Most time you don't even want to sit with your parents anymore. Most of the time you don't even want to sit and talk to your parents anymore because you guys are all so fast to go in your rooms and turn on your PDAs and get on it. You don't even care about talking to your parents. And that's a poor relationship with the parents or peers. Now, it ain't the parents' fault either. It's your fault too. But in case there are kids who want that relationship with their parents and they can't really get that, then guys, then that's probably where the parents come in. Okay, feelings of social isolation is when they don't have likes and they don't have a lot of people looking at their stuff. And especially when they don't have a lot, they do all of this stuff. So they do it for social, to put it into social. And then they put it out there, and then they looking at it, and they don't get no likes, they don't get no hits, and that kind of stuff. And then the next friend goes out and puts theirs out, and puts theirs on, and they get all these likes, and they get all these hits, and all of that stuff like that. That's what, that to me adds to the social isolation, which I think is incumbent upon us as parents. If we are going to save our children from this horrible, horrible trend of teenage suicide, and it's from attention. Tension is the worst enemy, not just from suicide. It's to break down your body. When you have so much tension, worrying about shit that you got no business worrying about stuff that you cannot change. Don't worry about stuff that you don't have the power in power to change. You shouldn't be worried about those kind of things. Now, let's go back on to some of the other ones. It says, dealing with bisexual or homosexuality is an unsupportive or in an unsupportive family or community or hostile school environment. Those are other things. When we know that the gay community, the LGBT community have a horrible time and a huge suicide rate because of how they're treated, they're mistreated, and it's horrific. And I think we should all do exactly what the Bible says. The Bible says, love thy neighbor as thyself. There is nowhere in the Bible where it will ever tell you to love thy straight neighbor. It didn't say love your straight neighbor. It said love thy neighbor. So if your neighbor is gay, you're supposed to do what? Love them. If your neighbor is LGBT, what you supposed to do? Love them per God. And the Bible says, judge not that ye may not be judged also. So you're supposed to love them and not judge them. So that's what you're supposed to do. And if we all practice that, then that would help them. And it's acceptance. You don't have to say, I believe in homosexuality, or I believe in all of that. But no one's asking you to believe in it. But what they're saying is, we don't want you to just accept us and don't judge us and just treat us like normal people, which I don't have a problem. I'm going to love, respect, and treat everybody the same way, no matter what my religion. My religion tells me that it's a sin. That's fine. You don't go try to change Buddhists. They don't go try to change Muslims. So you can't change a Christian's point about it. But you can't dilute and try to switch the word of God. God tells us the one thing is love, and God is the only one who can judge. So that's why we need to do that. And if we can stop judging people, we can help the gay community and the LGBT community who is suffering at an astronomically higher rate of suicide than others. And the last one was unsupportive family and community in a hostile school environment. And that's because you're never going to get rid of kids. That's why you have to have parenting. That's why you have to build the self-esteem at home. That's why you got to do it that way, because you are never going to be able to influence kids to stop bullying and doing all that stupid kid shit. You can make it wrong, and if you can make it wrong before they get to school, if you can make it in their heads where they can understand before they get there, they won't do it. That's the problem. Kids they don't have that home training. The bottom line is kids are going out into the world right now without any home training. That's because the parents aren't doing the freaking job. The parents are failing our children. You need to make them put down those PDAs. You need to make them go to school. You need to start taking some responsibility, yo. If not, you're going to lose. We're going to lose an entire generation. We already are, and suicide is taking them down. And I just wanted to do this message tonight because I hate what I read today about suicide. Suicide among teens often happens after a stressful life event, such as a problem at school, breakup with a boyfriend or girlfriend, a death of a loved one, or a divorce. And we got so many divorces in our lives that we are contributing to this. Let's see some of the teens who are thinking about suicide might talk about suicide. Now, here's some of the things we need to learn. We need to learn these right here. Teens who are thinking about suicide might talk about suicide or death in general. Now, if you already have somebody, a friend, a family member who talks about suicide or death in general, think about that. Give them a little more attention. Give hints that they might not be around anymore. Talk about feeling hopeless or feeling guilty. Remember these things. These are really important. Pull away from friends and family. Write songs and poems or letters about death, separation, and loss. Start giving away treasured possessions to siblings or friends. Lose the desire to take part in favorite things or activities. Have trouble concentrating or thinking clearly. Experience changes in eating or sleeping habits. Engage in risk-taking behaviors. And they lose interest in school or sports. These are some of these warning signs that we need to watch out for as parents, friends, peers, loved ones, whatever. If you care about the people in your life, in your social network, if you truly care about the people close to you, you would take everything I said at heart. Because I'm reading every day so many people are committing suicide, and people we never even expected. We never even thought it crossed the mind. And it has nothing to do with economic situations. Robin Williams was rich. There's so many rich folks killing themselves. It has nothing to do with money or the lack of money. That is not what it is about. We need to learn the real common factors of what's going on before we lose too many more of our children. And listen to me, it's going to affect you one day if it ever happens to you or your loved one, and you won't be able to get over it, especially when you start to think back of something they might have said that you wish you had have taken more time with. That's the problem. What can parents do? Many teens who commit suicide have gone to some type of warning to loved ones ahead of time. You hear that? A lot of times they give a little warning. So it's important to parents to know the warning signs so teens who might be suicidal can get the help they need. I'm so tired of talking about it, but it is so important, so important that we all recognize these things, because our kids are our most precious commodity. And the future, and kids, you guys have to really get this. Because if you don't start putting down this PDA and get off this social media, stop worrying about all this dumb shit, Cardi B, the Kardashians that mean nothing. These people got their money, they got their lives. And the more you sit and worry about it, the more you concentrate and talking about it and spread about it and talking about it, the less you are doing for yourself, the less you are doing to better yourself, the less money you're putting in your own pocket. The more you do that, liking their stuff, subscribing to their shit, it's only making them money and getting you more frustrated with what you don't have. Let go of your PDAs. Start spending more time with your families, reading, looking, doing something. I did that once. I disconnected from Friday to Sunday, and it was the greatest feeling I ever had. You need to do that, parents. You need to get with your kids. Your kids, you need to get with your parents. You guys need to start getting together for a family hug at least once a freaking week or month, if that. When the last time you all hugged as a family? Probably never. This is the worst thing I ever heard in my life, but God bless you guys. Remember, this is Miguel Nunez. You're watching FlyNubianKingTV.com. Make sure you hit that button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'm going to be back here Friday. I might come back on a little bit later tonight because I got a little bit more I want to talk about to young kids. And this is about your future here and how you won't have an America for your future unless you get ready right now, get your butts into the political atmosphere. You got to get involved because the greenhouse is real. And right now, if it keeps going the way it is, when you get my age, when you're about to croak, your kids are going to have to wear masks. There's not going to be enough oxygen. There's not going to be enough water if you don't start right now. Because these old folks in Washington, they don't care nothing about it. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. God bless you guys. I will talk to you later. This is FlyNewYorkKingTV.com, and I'm out.